loves? It's Nikki Zeke. Coming back. Sorry, I'm just in a really awkward spot. And I have no makeup. Well, I have some makeup on. Like leftover from like earlier this morning. But I just wanted to kind of touch base. I don't know why I say welcome or welcome back. I have like I said, like negative like 3,000 subscribers. I don't think anyone even watches this shit, but that's fine. It's just kind of for me and, you know, my friends to kind of, you know, watch and that type of stuff. So, I had made a video about how we got Stormageddon, our new kitten, and don't worry, she's fine. She is still here. She's playing around right now with some tape from a box that I have over here. So sorry if you can hear that, but I'm not going to stop her because she's actually being, like, kind of okay and not super crazy. So I'm going to leave her. And basically this past week, she almost died, which is really super scary, especially if you've owned pets or have pets. They are your family, and you get so attached that you don't want, I mean, it's like having a family member die. So basically, we had got her a week ago today. We picked her up and brought her home from the shelter. We rescued her, and she, the first day or so, day and a half, she was, like Saturday and Sunday, she was good. She was, you know, playful. She played with all of her toys. She, you know, had like full run of the house, or the apartment, and I mean, she loved it. She was running around, chasing things, looking outside, that type of thing, and all of a sudden Monday, you know, type of thing kittens usually do. And this past Monday, she basically tanked. And she was extremely lethargic. She wasn't eating her food or drinking water. She would only do it if I put her, like, physically, like, placed her in front of her food and water. And then even then, she would maybe take, like, 2 sips of water or, like, you know, 3 to 4 kernels of food, and then she'd be done. And she wasn't really using her litter box because of that. She wasn't really eating or drinking. And I was a little bit worried. Her stomach felt really, really hot to me. Her paws felt really, really hot. But she loves, loves, loves sleeping in, like, a shitload of blankets. So I was like, maybe she's just been sleeping really, you know, deeply in these blankets and she's really warm. I'm not sure. But having cats all my life, I know that cats, especially kittens, are just don't act like that. They're not that sleepy. They're not, you know, that tired, not eating, that type of thing. Especially kittens are super, super playful. So, basically, and also, like, if she would sleep literally all day, she was never, or last Monday, she tanked. Completely tanked. And she would just literally sleep all day, all night. She sleeps in between my husband and I, and she did not even move from her little spot, like the place she was in, the entire night. And then when you would you'd pick her up and put her somewhere, she would literally just sit down and fall asleep right there. Like, she wouldn't even go to her own place to get comfortable. Like, she would just literally, like, pass the fuck out wherever you put her. So Monday, I believe I did call the vet, and I had said, you know, she's super, super warm. Side note, she had she was spayed on July 3rd. And so, which was very recent to when we adopted her. And I think they spayed her as soon as they could at 4 weeks. And I believe she's probably between 8 and 10 weeks now. They don't know for sure because it wasn't written on her papers and all that. So, sorry, she's in here and I'm trying to keep an eye on her a little bit. But, so she, she was kind of like that. And I was worried. So, I called the vet and said, she's really, really warm. She's sleeping a lot. I'm not really sure what's happening. And they had said, basically, you can bring her in, we'll take her temp, we'll kind of look at her and see if she's okay. She goes, but if she's still, kind of eating and she's doing whatever, she goes, she's probably fine. So just keep an eye on her. They said they wouldn't really worry about her at that time. So I just kept a very close eye on her. And I believe it was Tuesday, we had taken her, she just got even worse. She wasn't eating at all, going to her litter box, like I said, just constantly sleeping, even worse than Monday. And, like, my, two of my nieces were over, they're young, I believe 7 and 9, and they were trying to play with her, and, like, trying to forcefully, play with her. And she was not having it. She just wanted to go to sleep. She was hiding in her little house, which she never, ever, ever does. She always wants to be, like, around and in your arms or by you or whatever. And she just was not having it. And I had told my husband, I'm like, something is wrong. Like, this is not how a kitten is supposed to act. Something is wrong. And he was like, oh, I'm sure she's fine. Like, and I was like, and since I had told him, like, cats sleep most of the day, he's like, oh, she's probably fine, she's sleeping, like, she probably wore herself out, having, being in a new environment, and having, like, a full run of the apartment, and running around and playing, and still, I was like, something is very, very wrong, and I just had that instinct, like, I feel like it's a maternal, like, instinct, a motherly instinct, that something was not okay. And so I had called the vet, and I had, told them everything, and they had said to bring her in. So we made an appointment that day. Luckily, they were able to get us in that day, because I don't think she would have made it. And so our appointment was at 4. I believe I called around, like, 2. And so I'm glad they got us in so quickly. I love this vet that we go to. They're amazing. So we had taken her, and she was just, like, literally, like, in my blanket, like, not moving. And, like how if cats, go around or whatever, they're looking around, they're trying to get away, all that kind of stuff, she literally didn't move, no matter there's another cat, a dog, anything. Like, she gave no fucks. And so, the vet came in, obviously asking what was going on, and the thing he was worried about most was her surgery. And he was afraid that she might have had a, what's the word? An obstruction somewhere, in her stomach or her bowels or what have you. He said that she was already tested for feline leukemia. It was negative, but he said, it still could be positive because she is so young. And so I was super worried. Like, I was almost in tears at this point. And so he's like, okay, we're going to take her back to the exam room, and we're going to take blood, urine, her temperature, that type of thing. So they did that. He comes back, and the first thing he says is, she's really sick. He said dogs and cats' temperatures run very, very high, higher than humans. But her temperature was 106. And so she was very sick. And he was really, really worried about her. And he was unsure. He was naming all these things. And he said since she had surgery so young and then thrown back into the shelter, she could have picked up something that could be, an infection type of thing. So we didn't know. And so he said, I want to do an x-ray to make sure, nothing's wrong inside of her and all that type of stuff. And so, they taken her away again. He wanted to give her fluids as well. So they taken her away from him again, and then I was legit, like, in tears because she had such a high fever. It was like, we haven't even had this kitten for a week, and she could be dead. Like, she could die. And I was freaking out. And so he comes back, and he said that her blood work looked normal, everything was normal, and they couldn't find anything in the x-ray. Her urine was fine. So he basically said that he hoped it was just an infection that she had caught from the shelter after getting her surgery. So he had said, give her these antibiotics, which we have to give her through a syringe. It's not like with no needle. We just, get it from like her little medication bottle, and then you can squirt it down her throat. And so he had given us that for, I believe it's a 10-day supply. We give it to her twice a day. So he's like, I hope it's just an infection that we can get rid of easily. He goes, I'm not 100% positive because she is so young. We're not sure. It could be multiple things. He goes, but let's just try this and see how she does. And he goes, I'll call you in 2 days. He goes, call me if she goes downhill. Anything like that. He goes, but I'll call you in 2 days to see how she is doing. So we took her home. She was still super sick. She seemed to perk up a little bit after the fluids he gave her because she was so dehydrated from not drinking at all for probably 2 days. So she was very dehydrated, and sorry, my lips are super dry. This looks really gross. And so we had given her first dose when we got back from the vet around 5 p.m. And she seemed to kind of perk up a little bit. I believe it was more from the IV, or the fluids than the first dose of antibiotics. And then progressively she got better and better. Monday morning she seemed a little bit more like herself. She was kind of playful. She was purring when you held her. I haven't heard her purr for a long time. She went to her food dish by herself. And so, long story short, we had given her multiple doses of antibiotics, and she has gotten so much better. She's better than we've ever seen her. I believe she was probably sick before we adopted her, and no one really noticed, and which is sad, but it's the reality. It's probably my husband just honking their stupid horn. And so she progressively got better and better, and now she is back to herself. She's playing with anything and everything she can, getting into stuff she shouldn't be, and so she's doing so much better, and she's great now. We're still giving her antibiotics. We're supposed to give it to her for about 10 days, I believe, and then go from there. And she's really, really great. But she still sleeps with us throughout the night, and then we'll wake up early and, bite her feet, bite her legs, be obnoxious like she should be. I just kind of wanted to tell this, like, if you notice anything, oh, there's my husband. Hi. Stop. That's annoying.
Sorry. Hi. Husband.
And now you made me lose my train of thought.
Keep going.
But if you notice, like, anything, like, with your pets that's wrong, that you think is wrong,
They still love you.
just go to the vet. Just, if you even, like, think of something that could be wrong, go to the vet.
Still love you. I'm strong again.
And so, just take them to the vet so you can, we were probably less than a day. The vet had basically said that if we had brought her in any later, she probably
She was
died.
going to die.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And so she's probably gonna die. So please take your animals to the vet if you even sense something is wrong with them. It's really sad to me. Just knowing people don't really understand or can tell when their animal is not okay. I think I'm just lucky because I've had animals all my life that I know how they're supposed to act, how they should be. But a lot of people don't. And, I mean, that's fine if it's your first pet and everything. But if you even sense, like, this is not how my, animals should be acting, just take them to the vet. And, I mean, they could be fine, but they could be not. And you could be catching something way, 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 way sooner than you could have. And then it might be able to be fixed instead of, oh, it's too late, you should have brought them in sooner. So, I absolutely love her to death. I can't imagine my life without her now. My husband is absolutely smitten with her. He did not want her at all, and now he loves her. So, that makes my life. And I think that's kind of it. There's nothing really that exciting to say. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to tell you how we basically saved her life, and how better she is now. She's so much better than she even was when we brought her home, and it just makes me so happy to see how great she is and how much she's improved. So yeah, that's basically it, and hopefully I'll make another video soon. I know it's like random. I don't even have like scheduled days. No one really cares anyway. So I will try to think of something and I guess let you know when I can. So I will talk to you butt nuggets later.